Can one single tower get all of the pops versus an elite boss? And yes, this is probably going to be a very exciting, very interesting one. I'm super excited to try this out. This is, by the way, something I've done before in recent memory at least, and this should be a very fun one, guys. All right, so that's going to be the engineer, by the way. So this is the tower that you can. You have to choose a tower that you can start with, right? And also the tower needs to have, like, well, first off, a paragon of itself, and also some, you know, some characteristics. Like, for example, it needs to be not exactly that expensive. It needs to be able to pop different types of balloons. It needs to be able to hold its own. All right, so the plan for the early ones is going to be to use the Sentry Paragon. So it's going to be the 520 Sentry Paragon, which hopefully is going to be able to hold its own versus the first 3 tiers. And then for tier number 4, we're going to get the Engineer Paragon. And then by tier number 5, it's going to get fully overclocked by itself, which means it's going to get a lot more power. And this is the change that I'm playing off of. Yeah, it's not looking good, this one, is it? So that's a huge wave of green moves. And I'm just thinking, what do we want to do for this one? So we're going to be left with 30. That's not good. That's way too many lives. Okay, so let's try and upgrade something, I guess. Let's maybe get the sentries. Or actually, what if we're greedy a little bit? Let me get the pickles, which is going to be $100 that we're going to have to put into this thing. I guess the sentries are more of a long-term solution, but let's just try and fix this round only. So let's have this guy on strong so that we're only focusing on the green blues. This is so much better. It's going to be 60. Oh, that's too close. 68 lives remaining. All right, I'm completely fine with this as long as we are able to save up money for a 000 farm and then we go into a sentry. So I'm completely fine with that. All right, so we're leaking into our pings, guys. Not looking that hot. Maybe we should have went for the sentries, but oh, you live and you learn, I guess it is. So that's going to be how much? It's going to be 33. Is it going to go below 30? Yes, it's going to be 29 lives. All right, but at least we're going to get our farm, right? So farm number 3 goes like this. I think this is the spot. And then if we buy a village over here, it should have all 3 farms in range for the discounts, which should be good enough. All right, so let's turn off all the star because it's round 27 ending. And here is what I want to do for round 28 in the lead balloons. This is not exactly as efficient, but we're trying to do the, well, all pops should end up with the NG, right? So let's go like this and let's buy the AMD for the NG. And I'm going to have the NG on what? Strong probably is going to be good. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to buy the NG and I'm gonna sell it, so we have the AMD buff onto this guy, and hopefully with this AMD he's gonna be able to pop all of the lead balloons. So one more please, strong. Yes, there we go. Okay, that was amazing. So now we can clean all these guys out. That's amazing. And then for the let's around 30, I just remember we should have done the glue actually, because it's a free tower and doesn't take any pops. So I'm gonna place the glue like this. We have 1.4k. And here's what I'm thinking. Maybe we can get away by buying the monkey business, the monkey commerce, and then we make some money off of these farms, and then we just do the same thing with the alchemist. Is this gonna work? As soon as this roulette is out of range of the alchemist, let's go like this, and then oh my god, I'm $8 off. You have to be kidding me, man. There's no way this happened. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. We are going to get at least just the monkey business, so we get a little bit of this kind going. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna buy the AMD when I guess we're gonna have to get the money from these guys. This guy's set on strong. Let me give him a little bit of extra range, and now we're gonna buy the AMD. And I think we're just gonna have to buy the AMD 2 times. It looks like this is a lot more safer. So let's get this guy on strong. I feel like it's possible with only one AMD buff, by the way, but I don't know. It's like I don't want to spend the entire day doing this, so I'm just gonna go like this. We're gonna lose a little bit of cash by doing this, but it's fine. And now let's move this guy back to strong. Let's give the AMD again. And are we gonna pop this? Yes, that's very good. Okay, so we were able to keep the alchemist. I was scared of these leftovers just making it in the range of the alchemist, but it's fine. So now we can sell it, I think, or not. Oh no, the AMD buff expired, but you know what? We can absolutely tank this one. Okay, so that's completely fine. All right, so let's see if we have enough money to do the thing that we want to do. So let's sell everything, and we're gonna need. I'm gonna go hard with this kind of villages. And when I say I'm going hard, I'm gonna go with 2 actually. So let's go like this. Is there gonna be enough space, by the way, for a farm? Or it's really tight, but yes, we get the farm going. So bam, bam, and then if I sell both of these guys, look at this, $5,009, which is $9. So that's amazing. All right, how's everything looking, guys? I think we're doing quite well for ourselves. So 4 of these marketplaces, not too bad. Before on 29 plus some Minneapolis. I mean, that's amazing. And finally, in comes the tier 1 boss. All right, so what do we do for this one? Well, it's gonna have to be the Sentry Expert. I'm pretty sure that the Sentry. Did I say the Sentry Expert? It's gonna be a Sentry Champion. Okay, so this guy is gonna defeat Bloons by itself. At least a tier 1, right? And for the next year, so we're gonna have to do a lot of things. So it's actually Jerry's Fire first on this round, then give him the camo, and by the time these Rio Rainbows they reach the NG, yeah, they're just essentially popped. Okay, so that's very good. Let's also give this guy, oh no, the fertilizer is not unlocked. I think he's gonna unlock, yes, right now. That's right on time. As soon as we bought the central market, that's amazing. All right, this is a very bad thing that I'm doing, but I just greed out 1 more central market. Let's see if we have any fertilizers incoming anytime soon. Nope, not looking like it. Okay, that's completely fine. All right, so let's buy the Sentry Champion as soon as possible. There we go. So now the damage starts skyrocketing actually towards Bloons. I think I'm gonna set this guy to strong so that we only focus Bloons because we have absolutely no other priority than doing that. Let me just make sure I'm fertilizing the farms as soon as these fertilizers are incoming. And then you know what? I'm probably even just going to be giving this guy the Jace Fire just for a little bit of extra damage. That's about it. All right, how are we looking? That's amazing. So this is going to be the second skull actually. Around 49, that's not what you want to be hearing, that you're popping the second skull on 49. Oh my god, wait a minute. Let me just switch this guy to first, by the way. Let me sell some of these guys manually. I think we're going to... Oh, we're going to lose if we leak all that, right? All right, let me actually manually sell some of these sentries so that we can get rid of them, and I think that's a lot better than last time. Okay, so we're gonna lose some lives, but I had to sell some sentries. Oh no, I don't want some sentries there. Okay, so let me get, what are we getting? We should get a glue because it doesn't take away any pops, so we don't get any spawns on the sentries over here on the left side. There we go, that's a good spot for it. Let's give the counter potion to the NG again. And how is everything looking, guys? So this is actually gonna get really close with the tier 1 because see where Bloons currently is, he's unavailable to us. See, we cannot attack him, and all these sentries are here in the middle. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm actually gonna sell all of these sentries so that they don't attack the rounds, so that we can prolong the rounds a little bit and actually, you know, buy ourselves a little bit of time so the Bloons can make the turn. So let's sell this guy as well. Let's sell this guy as well, which is actually doing a little bit of damage, but I am just selling all these sentries because I don't want them doing damage. I want these rounds lasting as long as possible, so let's sell this guy as well. How are we doing? I think I'm actually doing a good job with prolonging these rounds. I'm actually gonna sell this one, and I think I'm gonna stop at this point. So this guy's still on strong, which is really good. Let me just make sure I forgot to fertilize a couple of these guys. The joys of defeating an elite boss with just towers that are not meant for it. I guess you guys are looking at it. So all of these farms actually sell for about, how much is it gonna be? It's gonna be 34, so that's gonna be 68k. So that's actually, you know what it is, it's more than enough for a banana central. So I'm actually gonna go for a banana central as soon as possible. Let's just get it like this. There it is. So we're in the home stretch with this one. The tier 1 is gonna pop around 58. That's insane. We're gonna have to face the next tier like, well, right now. So that's not good, but let's at least get the banana central going. We get some cash going. This thing is fertilized, which is really nice. And in comes the tier 2. What do we do for this one? Okay, so I was thinking of having an engine like this, but I'm not sure, guys. It's probably gonna take away some pops because look at how this curvature goes on the left side with the fog of war, right, and kind of this red line around the circle. I think it's gonna be able to see a little bit. So maybe if I have it like, it is gonna be good. I feel like this might be a little bit better than the previous one. So let's go like this, get the overclock, and make sure the foam is up top so it doesn't get any pops. And now let's do a couple of things. So first one, jungle jumps. So we get a little bit extra attack speed for our NG, and then we need to buy essentially a lot of, well, this. First off is gonna be the glue storm, so we need some damage amplification. And then in the range of this village, I think this is where we're gonna have our call to arms. I don't think that we're gonna go past the call to arms, by the way. I think I'm just gonna keep it like this because the homeland is way too expensive, and I want to spend some money onto farms. And now we should be, I mean, for this tier, this should be more than enough, right? So let me make sure this guy's set on strong. Let me just get the glue ability going. Oh my god, so many balloons. It's on 64, by the way. Let me use the call to arms. We also have the rejuve if we need it, but I'm not sure if we're gonna be needing that. So yeah, how's the damage looking? I mean, this is gonna be skull number 2. This is already looking way better than tier 1. I'm gonna be honest. Buy some of these guys into the BRFs. How many of them I can buy? Not too many. All right, so how's it looking? So about 2.5 skulls left. I think we can do better than that before Bloons goes out of the range. We might even be able to fully pop it if we can get some sentry spawns here on the right side, but he's not spawning them on the right side. He's only spawning them here on the top left side, so we can prevent that actually. So let me place just like a placeholder farm like this, and now we should see a good chunk of these sentries getting spawned on the right side. We're gonna have the call to arms as well. Wait, where are those sentries going, by the way? Oh my god, he's spawning them here at the bottom. What are you doing, man? Don't spawn in sentries here. Let me just place the glue like this, and then is there a spot for another one? I see a spot. Yes, there we go. Place them like this. What's wrong with this placement over here? Why is he not placing them here? I don't know. All right, and we're back in the range. So it's around 74, and yes, already this is looking so much better than last time. It's time for the ability, so let's just do this. Is gonna be the final push for it. I'm gonna switch the NG to first, and then is there something else that we could do? So I think I fertilized all of these farms. I was thinking of doing a rejuve, but I actually want to save them for, or actually, are they gonna come off stock? What's the restock onto these rejuves? It's probably gonna be less than 6 rounds because that's where the next boss comes out. So let's do this. Let's actually get one more extra ability thanks to rejuve. And how is everything looking? I think we actually have it, guys. This is gonna be the final push. 1.5 skulls left, but it's around 75, and let's actually just keep putting even more money into these farms because, well, that's the thing that we have to do. And this is gonna be the last call, so let me just use the abilities for one last time. I'm still buying the farms, by the way. We have lot of cash. So the farming is actually doing really well. I also want to buy this thing as the Wall Street, by the way. And let me get the BRF. So one more BRF here on the side. This is doing amazing. Round 77 though. All of these like tier 1, tier 2, they're being just super close at this point, but I feel like it's gonna get easier, or at least, you know what, the tier 3 is probably not gonna get easier, but I feel like once we buy the NG Paragon, things should get a little bit easier for us. I'm pretty sure. Okay, so that's gonna be the tier 2, round 78. This is done, guys. This one is gone, and yes, let's actually make sure we defeat the next one. So what do we want to do for the tier 3, which is coming out in 2 rounds? Actually, before we go on to the tier 3, let's just do a pop count check. So 0 on the NG. Oh my god, this thing might actually be happening, and 0 on Geraldo. That's amazing. All right, so I didn't forget to do this, by the way. I almost forgot, but I didn't forget. So one of the ways that we can actually buff this NG is by getting an ultra boost for it, and it's gonna make it spawn a bunch more sentries. So yeah, let's actually get this thing going. Where did I place the? Yeah, there we go. I was looking for a tech bot, so let's disconnect the tech bot for a second, and let's just start overclocking and ultra boosting this guy. And guys, this right here is the most important tier out of all of them. So if we can defeat this one, then we probably have it. So here's what I want to do. I think I'm gonna sell this farm so we can get some sentry placements here while the boss is in the top left. 2 million HP onto this Bloonarius, plus, well, he's kind of difficult at this point, right? So the HP is starting to ramp up, and we're gonna need a lot of damage. So first off, let's go like this. Let's use both of our abilities, and actually I'm gonna start with the rejuves at first, because they are eventually, I'm just gonna even get like a Cope Jerry's Fire just to do a little bit of extra damage. But once the homeland and everything is over, I'm gonna do a rejuve, and I'm gonna use all of them again. So let's go like this. Let's use the Glue Storm again. Make sure the NG is set on strong, and the HP, I mean, it's kind of going somehow. It's going ahead somehow, guys. Maybe we can actually do this thing. Let me just keep buying these farms up top. Let me just try and keep these try to keep these placements clean, you know, just as long as we don't make a mess, we save as much space as possible so that we can place even more farms. Let's get the call to arms while there's downtime. I'm multitasking a lot, but I'm just telling you guys what I'm doing as well. So I'm using the call to arms while there's downtime onto the homeland as well. And then how are we doing? 4 stacks onto the ultra boost. Yeah, maybe if we start the ultra boosting this thing a little bit earlier would be fine, but yeah, I think it's gonna be fine like this anyway. So let's make sure we are fertilizing the best of our farms, and I'm just gonna keep using these abilities off cooldown. I'm gonna be honest. So as soon as I'm gonna use the homeland, and then as soon as this homeland is out, I think I'm gonna rejuve once more, and then I'm just gonna let these rejuves do their thing. So they're gonna restock, and we're gonna play off of the call to arms in the homeland as well. All right, so the homeland is about to expire, so let's rejuve this. Let's use the glue storm and the homeland again. Is this guy strong? Yeah, he's strong. He's also, you know what he's doing? He's getting a lot of bombs by himself, which is gonna be really nice eventually for the big paragon, the NG paragon itself. All right, so call to arms again. We're doing very well, guys. Let me just check out on the NG. He's still not reached 10 ultra boost. He's at 9, and it's around 84. Yeah, so that's what we should have done. We should have started the ultra boosting at like around 76 or something like that. But keep in mind, we were still fighting the boss in the previous one at that time. So yeah, I guess it's fine that we can say that it slipped our mind, right? And let me see if I can find a spot for another farm. Like this is probably gonna, yeah, here up top, this is gonna be probably the last one. And yeah, I don't see any more. Maybe I don't see them right now, but I think that's about it with the spots for the farms. Let me just check the amount of bombs onto these guys. Okay, so the NG is still at 0, and then Geraldo, if I can click him, still at 0. That is absolutely amazing. Okay, that's exactly what you want to see. All right, so the boss is going on the right side, and we have to start thinking about switching these sentries from the left to the right side. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna sell this farm, and I'm gonna place a farm like right here where all these sentries are, so the placement gets blocked. And then we also got a rejuve potion. So yeah, oh, look at this thing. So the sentries are getting spawned on the right side. That's amazing. This is the perfect spot for these guys. I should probably just place a farmer actually here on the left side, because these crates are a little bit distracting. So let's do that. We're gonna have the call to arms in a second. You know what? I'm actually gonna rejuve this. Let's use both the glue storm and the homeland, and then we're gonna use the call to arms when there's downtime onto these guys. And you know what? This farm might as well become something like a 4-0, right? So it makes a little bit of cash. And you know what? This is actually the tier 3 boss, which we're defeating with the tower that we used onto the tier 1, and somehow this is the best one out of all of them. Like, that's actually crazy to me. It just goes to show how much, you know, this ultra boosting and just, I guess, god boosting in this case would be a more proper term for what is happening right now. Oh, by the way, something that we can do actually, because we have a lot of money, I should remember to do this a little bit earlier, but I should have bought Geraldo's level 20 so we can start placing the Paragon power totems actually. So yeah, let's do that while we're at it. How is it looking? So this is gonna be the last one. I really hope Bloonarius doesn't just walk out of the range of these sentries, so we have to wait for it. When you do these kinds of things, you know, it's really easy for something to go wrong, but so far so good. And let me just not check the pops on Geraldo and the ultra boost and figure out that one of those guys is like 1 pops, because I'm gonna be very mad. So let me just check that. All right, 0 on Geraldo and then 0 on the ultra boost. Okay, this might actually be happening. That's amazing. By the way, this run is inspired by a Reddit post which I saw, I think it was yesterday or the day before, and I saw someone post a screenshot of themselves doing it with the Wizard Paragon. So I was like, wait a minute, is this possible with the NG? Because the NG got a lot of buffs actually. It's not super strong versus bosses, overclocks itself, so I was like, I have to try this thing. Alright, so it's round 99, so we're gonna be selling all of these farms when this round ends, and I'm just gonna buy the NG Paragon. Hope we get as high of a degree as possible. Let me just not forget to place the Paragon Power Totems. So this is gonna be 13, and then when this round ends, it's gonna be 14 Paragon Power Totems in total, which is, I'm more than happy with that, I'm gonna be honest. So this is round 100, the tier 4 is about to appear, and I'm just gonna buy the NG Paragon right now. It's gonna overclock itself to the max for the tier 5, and that's why we want to buy it right now instead of at where the tier 5 arrives. And just for the sake of transparency, I wanted to show you guys that Geraldo indeed has 0 pops because I'm gonna be selling him, and this Ultra Boost is gonna get sacrificed, so he's at 0 pops as well. And then all these other towers are just glues, which don't do any damage, and just a bunch of farms. And all the pops, 4.5 million, are at the NG. So yeah, so far so good. We are getting all pops on a single tower. So I bought this favorite trades boat, by the way, 0 pops, I just bought it. So let's just sell a bunch of these farms. So let's see how much money we can make. All right, and there it is. So $2.1 million. We have to buy the, oh wait a minute, let me just have the trap like this, because if I were to place it, it would have placed the trap on the ground, and then it's another tower which collects the pops. So we need to have this guy actually in the side here. And let's buy the Master Builder. I'm gonna put all the money into this thing because there's nothing else that we can do. So let's see what's the degree that we're gonna get. It is a 72. All right, so 72 should be able to solo tiers 4 and 5, right? Especially because it overclocks faster by itself. I mean, with the extra NGs, or I should say the sentries, yeah, it definitely should. So we're gonna keep the Glue Storm actually because, well, it doesn't do any pops. And oh my god, this game plays so much smoother now. Like the screen is so clean that it just, there's no lag. That's amazing to watch. All right, so the NG is gonna eat this guy up, isn't it? Let me just place the last sentry as well, and yes, let's watch these guys go. Oh my god, the damage is insane. Okay, so, and as these rounds are passing, it's just overclocking itself. It's just becoming a lot more stronger. And then let's just go like this with this sentry, actually maybe place it where Bloonarius is, so we can sell it and actually do some damage with that. So let's go like this, and that's good. Oh my god, that's a lot of damage to the tier 4. All right, so let's wait for the boss to make it all the way around because he's behind the log currently. Actually, he's inside of the log, so if I sell the blue sentry, or if I place the blue sentry and it automatically sells the previous one, it's not gonna do any damage, I don't think. So let's just wait for this guy to come out, which is absolutely not gonna, it's absolutely not gonna be important if we do that because the damage is just way too high. Okay, but let's do it anyway. So about half a skull that one explosion does. So yeah, let's just sell this one as well, and then when we get the cooldown, oh my god, this thing is absolutely melting on tier 4. All right, so it's just gonna be the final one. Is it gonna be able to defeat the tier 5 by itself? And I have a good feeling that it is, just because it's gonna overclock itself like a million times. It's gonna be max powered. So yeah, degree 72 NG. Is it gonna defeat Elite Bloonarius by itself? Let's see. All right, here it comes. So let's make sure our sentries are next to the boss so that we can get some sellbacks and some extra damage going as soon as he appears. So we have the Glue Storm. That's about it. With the damage amplification, let me just have all the sentries. Actually, this green one is in line. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep them like this, and then as soon as the boss appears, I think we're gonna have to start. But here it comes. Okay, so tier 5 versus an almost fully ultra boosted degree 72 NG Paragon. Is the NG good enough to beat this guy? I feel like it is. Let's start with selling a sentry. So the boss HP is at about 39 million, and if I sell this thing, about 500,000 per explosion, give or take. I think if I'm looking at these things correctly, so not too bad. Let me sell this one as well. Yeah, so these explosions are definitely doing something. Let me just make sure I'm using the Glue Storm, and let's see how we're doing. So we are gonna get, I think I'm gonna move the blue sentry like this now, so we get the explosion from top, and that's gonna be skull number 1. I think I should have the engine on strong, by the way, so we only focus down the boss, and then I guess just from these side projectiles, like these small towers, are gonna start popping by themselves. So let's actually do a sellback onto this sentry as well, and now I'm gonna lock in place like this when Bloonarius emerges out of the log. Let's have the blue sentry explosion next. As soon as Bloonarius makes a turn, I'm gonna sell it. So let's just wait for a second, and let's just place the new one. Bam, there we go, halfway there. This is gonna be it, guys. Yep, this is absolutely gonna be it. I mean, it's about halfway there, and Bloonarius is not even like halfway through the map. So yeah, this is looking very good. Let's just make the sellback onto the next one. And yeah, there are no other towers to take pops, so we can absolutely say that we actually did it. Well, as soon as Bloonarius pops, that is, but yeah, we actually did it. We got all pops versus an elite boss onto a single tower, which is absolutely insane. And this is gonna be the final push. So let's have the green sentry attack like this. Let's have the red sentry next to it up top. The engine itself isn't attacking. Oh my god, 65 million pops. That's a lot. That's insane. This is gonna be the last one, by the way. So let's just start moving these sentries towards the right side. Let me use the Glue Storm for one last time, probably. Yeah, this engine is actually become so strong that it is capable of doing this. So let's just do the final. I think it's gonna be the last cell of a sentry, and there it is. yes, we actually did it. That is absolutely insane what this NG Paragon can do now. I feel like a lot of other Paragons are capable of doing this as well, and it's just like so cool doing it. Look at this thing, 71 million pops. I just hit review math for a second. 71.3 million pops, and that is all pops in a single game onto one tower versus an elite boss. That's insane. But yeah, that was so fun to play, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'm gonna see you on the next one.